Hi, everybody. You're here with Brendan from Fuzz Factory Touring. Tonight, we're here with Rich, the bass player extraordinaire of Sydney instrumental heavy psych space rock band Comacozer. Rich, how you going?
Oh, good, mate. Yourself? Wow, what a welcome. That's
Well,
I don't think bassists get glorified very often, so that's much appreciated.
they need more credit, I think. They're very underappreciated. So,
It can be the unsung heroes sometimes. Yeah, yeah,
I,
you can
I,
say that.
I agree. Um, Mate, just the name Comacozer, it's the type of band name that most people wouldn't hear on an everyday type basis. Can you give us a bit of backstory as to what the name of Comacozer means?
Oh man, yeah. So when Hannah or Andrew, myself and Rick, the guitarist, started jamming, God, like 10 plus years ago, we were we were coming up with some ideas, and Andrew, or Hannah as he's affectionately known, was throwing around some names he sort of had stashed away, and Comacoza kind of came up as one of those ones, that he had in mind, and we were like, oh, what is this? What's this really mean? And in his words, it was basically a big fat spliff is kind of his description.
Yes.
And we were like, all right, I think that works. The name sounded pretty cool, and I think that's kind of helped shape some of the music that we've been putting out as well. So I think it's yeah, it was pretty well chosen.
And the band's been going since 2013, 12 years since then and now. Can you give us a bit of back
Mm.
history on Comacozer?
So 2013, but we kind of started jamming together after Andrew had put an advert out on one of the internet forums, and I I'd not long been in Australia since moving over from the UK and was looking to get set up in a band again. And I reached out to him, and he'd had a couple of jams with Rick, the guitarist, and we sort of got into a few jams, and yeah, just everything kind of came together. We had a mishmash of different influences that I think worked and really sort of got the creative juices flowing. And I guess sort of within a year or so, we had a bit of material to pull together an EP that became Dayloon Sessions. And then we started out on the gigging circuit there. I think our first gig was like around Christmas time. It was the following year or so at the Valve Bar in Sydney, and it's kind of just gone from, I guess, from strength to strength in a way. We've had some real some luck come our way with putting together some great material and getting it out there on vinyl and on all the streaming platforms. And we've been lucky to get around to Melbourne, Adelaide, Brisbane, and now's our first time coming to Perth. It's taken us 10 years, but we finally made it out.
Worth the wait.
But yeah, and so over the years we've pulled together some material and had a few albums. I think three albums at least, or three releases at least on vinyl, for which we're really grateful for the
Cool.
opportunity to have been able to do. And yeah, it's been a hell of a ride, notwithstanding global pandemics and the likes. But we've
Yes.
made it out the other side, and it's we're starting to get going again with it all. So it's
And
good
with
times.
And with influences for the band musically, thematically, where do you guys draw inspiration from?
So yeah, it kind of goes without saying. I think that Black Sabbath is kind of there in the background. Like I think we're all fans of Sabbath, and
Yeah.
that kind of comes from a very special place for all of us. But then there's a lot of bands as well, like Deep Purple's. There's a lot of influence there from Deep Purple, and uh, like I mentioned as well, we've all kind of got our own little influences there. So stoner scene as well, some of like the Kyuss kind of early Queens of the Stone Age influences are there. And then there's, even some of the European stoner stuff, like, or even psych stuff like My Sleeping Karma, Color Haze as well, that play into it as well.
Nice.
Um, so there's a bunch of really cool stuff that kind of come together. And there's heavy elements as well. Some people in the past, there was a bit of space doom thrown in there, and there's some heavy influences that we've had as well, that have kind of come into play there. And I'm more on the kind of the stonery kind of psych side. Panna's got a lot of heavy influences, and Rick's kind of heavy, but Rick kind of bridges us as well in that as well. He's got some real influences there. I think uh, I put in a. I'm not sure who's the bigger Sabbath fan between Panna and Rick, and I'll let them fight that one out between them. But yeah, there's definitely a real mishmash of influences between the three of us. And I think the fact that we're not all in the same boat in regards to,
Yeah.
our influences actually helps shape our music as well. We've got a lot of different dimensions to the music. And that's, yeah, I think that's a really good thing for us as well. It means that when we do get to jam, we've all been listening to different kinds of music. We all acknowledge that, when we're not in that room jamming, we're listening to different genres of music that we don't really play. And I
Yeah.
think that actually helps us as well. It means that we're not, fully immersed all the time in it. We actually come back to the jams kind of refreshed a little bit with,
Yeah.
some clear minds. And you kind of pick up little bits and pieces from whatever music you're listening to, and it'll help you actually come up with some really cool riffs and ideas. So, that's, I think, been kind of key to it as well. So yeah, I think that still works for us.
And drawing on all those elements, I guess, yeah, it makes you come up with something unique and fresh and original sounding, which Comacozer definitely is. And I've just got
Absolutely.
to ask also on a bass playing influence side of things too, is there any bassists you look up to or practice along with musically? Anyone
Man.
that you've aspired to in
Look,
your younger years?
geez, like I'd say, look, the likes of Tim Comerford of Raging Against the Machine and Flea from the Chili Peppers were kind of staples in my sort of, let's say, my CD rotation when I was growing
Yeah.
up. But then I guess, like, there's, oh man, there's all kinds of awesome bassists out there, past and present, that can play, like, the likes of Lewis Johnson and James Jamerson from the funk era,
Yeah.
and your Jaco Pastorius on the jazz elements.
Yeah.
Some of those guys were technically amazing. Personally, like, funk is kind of, I draw some inspiration from the funk side of things, just because the tone some of those guys came to the table with was just fantastic. But even the the way even some of our genres of music that we're into as well kind of play out. Geezer Butler from Sabbath, Duff McKagan, Guns N' Roses, and then Al Cisneros from Sleep. Like,
Yeah.
man, it's like I could go on. Like, there's so many different people that kind of, all kind of have something special that they add to just being a bassist.
Yeah.
Um, and you can really, those are the guys that stick out in that music as well. So yeah, God, yeah, I could probably keep going listing bass players, but yeah,
That's, you've only
there's
got
those
limited time. Yeah.
guys. Yeah, oh, that's it, that's it.
No, it's
Oh,
all
yeah,
good. No, cheers for that. And it's been what 5 years now since the Son of Hyperion release with Mexico City's Venom Sabati. What's
yeah.
in the new pipeline for Comacoza? I mean, I personally I've been itching to hear some music. I've been following you guys for a while. So when are we going to get some new music?
So I can say that there's certainly some music on the horizon. So given that we had that whole COVID episode that happened, where
Yes.
that sort of hit us on the tail end. We just finished doing a sort of an East Coast tour with Nazatris when they came over, the Greek band
Yeah.
Nazatris, and not long after that, that was September 2019, and COVID happened, and then it kind of, we got immersed in, family life as well. A few of us had kids during that time, and we've slowly started getting together again and writing some material. And we're actually going to come over to Perth and hopefully play some new stuff that's going to be out pretty soon as well. So
Brilliant.
we've been putting together a few tracks that we'll hope to see out on vinyl within the next year or so. I won't say too much, but the guys in everyone in Perth is going to hopefully get to see some and listen to some new Comacozer material. So there's some new stuff coming out. You'll get to hear it in Perth, and hopefully not long after that, the rest of the world's going to get to hear it too. So
Brilliant.
exciting times ahead, I hope.
And with Perth, you've been here yourself personally before?
I have, yeah, I've been there. I've only with family, but yeah, it's a different kind of city to Sydney, I have to say. But
A little
it's
bit.
I'm not gonna complain at all. You got a memorial for Bon Scott out there on the water. And Frio's a pretty chill place. I always love hanging out down in Frio there. But yeah, it's first time playing there for me. Normally when I'm with family, I don't get a chance to go and hang out in the pub too much. But
Yes.
and listen to too many live bands. So yeah, this will be an experience.
Well, perfect opportunity to watch some great bands, including Stone Jesus from the Ukraine
Absolutely.
at Armageddon, Sunday, 28th of September at the Rosemount. Anything else before we let you go? Any parting words of wisdom to the West Aussies over here?
Oh man, look, we're looking forward to playing over there. We're looking forward to seeing the delights of Perth and bringing Comacozer and our space psych to over to Western Australia. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. Can't believe it's come around so quick.
I know it's just around the corner. Thanks,
Absolutely
Rich.
can't wait.
We'll see
Thanks,
you at
Brendan.
Armageddon.
Catch you then. Cheers, mate.